Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Now in today's video, guys, I just want to make a quick movie discussion. Probably not going to be editing this video too much. On something that I just kind of came up with on the fly. If you're reading the community post, you would have saw it, because I don't really have any ideas for any horror-related content right now. As I say in every video, let me know of any suggestions in the comment section. Otherwise, I'm going to try to figure out something else in the meantime, because the only other thing that I really have going on right now is I do want to see The Exorcist, even though I've heard a lot of negative things about it. And so hopefully I can see it tomorrow. Potentially Killers of the Flower Moon, and then for sure FNAF, which will be coming out next weekend. So make sure you stay tuned. There's a lot of potential content in that. Otherwise, I'm going to be trying to come up with ideas. But if you don't want to wait, let me know of any ideas that you guys have. So other than that, I wanted to talk about concert films, because obviously last weekend we had the release of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert film, which we've never really had this type of movie come out in theaters before, and it was kind of unexpected too. It was kind of just announced in the midst of her tour, and she said, you know, we're going to be taking a break in the tour, and so this will be a perfect time to let people who weren't able to come to some of the concerts watch it in theaters. And so don't get me wrong, it was a very, very smart decision by whoever made it. You know, I'll give Taylor Swift some credit for herself. It was a very, very smart decision, because it's an easy way to make a lot of money and attract fans who, did not get the chance to, get their seats or whatever to the concert, whatever it may be. So it's a very smart decision. It's a good way to keep the money coming during your break in the actual tour itself. So yeah, it was definitely a smart decision, but we've never really had anything like this come into theaters. Like I said, this was very unexpected. I remember, obviously, you guys know that I work at a movie theater. I remember seeing this pop up on the app for upcoming movies, and I'm thinking, this is going to be hell to work through. And so there was a lot of hype working up to it. There were a lot of pre-sales, a lot of people buying their tickets super, super early. The tickets were also expensive, and they were non-refundable. So I'm thinking, this is going to be a mess, because you're going to be having people treating this movie like it's a concert inside of a movie theater, which obviously does not work very well. And so, leading up to it, it was a little bit dreadful for a lot of people who worked at the movie theater, I'm sure, especially with a lot of the, Twitter posts and things like that about how we're going to make it as miserable as possible. And I don't know about other theaters, but at our theater, it really wasn't that bad. I could see in some theaters flooded with Taylor Swift fans and things like that. With our theater, yeah, there's obviously Taylor Swift fans everywhere, but it wasn't as bad as people were saying it to be. I think even we prepared a little over-prepared for it. And a lot of people who are in the movie theaters were kind of just treating it like a regular movie, which really surprised me, because I was thinking a lot of these Taylor Swift fans probably do not go to theaters regularly and don't get the memo that this is not a concert venue. This is a movie theater where people sit respectfully, quietly, and enjoy the movie. And so we were allowing people to stand up and dance and sing along and things like that and kind of have their fun. But we try to make it as best as possible for people who are watching other movies in the theater. And it actually went pretty smoothly. Like I said, I don't know how this went for other movie theaters and stuff like that, but that was my experience at my personal theater that I work at. It really, really wasn't that bad. Now, did this movie still make a lot of money? Yes, it did. I believe it made like it's already at like 120 million from its first weekend, which is pretty crazy. Definitely a lot of money. Yeah, let's see here. Taylor Swift Eras Tour, yeah, 140 million, 109 million domestically, only 30 million internationally. It had a pretty significant drop, I would say, from last weekend to this weekend. It made about 6 million yesterday and 10 million on Friday. We still don't know about Saturday, which is today. So I would say that's a pretty significant drop from the week before. It says a negative 46%. But I mean, it's still probably going to make a lot of money, either way. And it was definitely a smart decision. Like I said, I think this is a smart decision. What do I personally think about this? Is it going to start a trend of concert films, in movie theaters where somebody has a tour going on, or it's a famous singer or whatever, and they basically put concert and special event films inside of movie theaters. This is going to be a kind of a new thing. And honestly, I really don't think so. Obviously, we already have announced the Beyonce film, which I'm not sure how that's going. I'm not sure if it's a concert film or just some kind of like with Whitney Houston or Elvis, like kind of about a story about Beyonce. I have no idea. From what I heard, it is kind of like Taylor Swift, where it's like it's a special event, concert type of film. And I don't really have a whole lot of faith in that. I think Taylor Swift was smart in her decision to do this, or whoever did it, her managers or whatever, who managed this whole tour. But I think Taylor Swift is such a prominent figure and still going really, really strong, still releasing some big hits, that I think she's one of the only people who can really do that. Beyonce, kind of past her prime, to be honest. Hasn't really made a recovery since, I don't know, when did she make a lot of songs? I can't really remember. But Taylor Swift, still going pretty strong. Still got a lot of fans and things like that. But Beyonce, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that movie in particular. I think Taylor Swift and her concert film decision was probably a one and done. I don't think that there's going to be... I think there'll be attempts to replicate what she did, but I don't think it is going to go very well, because if this Taylor Swift Eras Tour film was as overhyped as it was, because, I mean, in my personal theater, it still made a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but in my personal theater, did not do as well as, like, people were projecting it to be. I don't think that other, slightly less, I mean, still very prominent, but slightly less prominent past their prime, singers are going to be able to replicate what Taylor Swift did. I think it'll still make a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But I think that the projections were way over what it actually turned out to be. And I'm glad that it's not going to be a trend. I think, movie theaters should stick to what they are, which is, people going in and respectively, quietly watching a movie on the big screen. I think that's how it should be. Now, are there times where, audience cheers and laughter and all that is warranted? Yeah, absolutely. I think those are really, really great. I really like jam-packed theaters. But what I don't like to see is theaters where you got people standing up, treating it like it's a concert, running around, whatever it may be. And that's just coming from the perspective of somebody who works in a movie theater. I just don't want to have to deal with that. And luckily, it really wasn't that bad. But I would really hate to see other even bigger movie theaters, because I'm at a relatively small movie theater, but even bigger theaters having to deal with that, I can only imagine how terrible that would be. So I would really like that this does not become a trend. I think there'll be attempts to replicate it. We already see with the Beyonce film. But I don't think that their attempts are going to be very successful. I think this is a one and done, and I think Taylor Swift will take the money and run with this Eras Tour, which, good for her. She has a lot of really great hits. I'm not a Swiftie by any means, but she's got a lot of really great hits, a lot of fans. She's definitely, easy to relate to for many, many people, and so that's why she's very successful. So, yeah, this was a great financial decision by her, or whoever decided to do this. And so I think it's honestly a one and done. I don't think that this trend is going to last if we do see more and more movies try to do this. So, yeah, that's kind of my input on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know of any video ideas. I'll be trying to come up with some stuff. Otherwise, we got some potential movie reviews coming within the next couple weeks. So make sure you stay tuned. And that's all I got for you guys. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.